Robert Greene tells us that we should give time, effort, and energy to the storylines and narratives that others promote and that they subscribe to. And I'm telling you, if you subscribe to the assumptions and opinions of everybody around you that has something to say, you will live a life of very little done and much said of little value. So much attention is being placed on things that doesn't matter, that it appears that they matter. Because if everybody is running in circles focused on the same thing, then it's hard to believe that it doesn't matter, right? They say it's not what you know, it's who you know. But if you get in a position based on who you know, it'll be what you don't know that gets you removed from that position. So clearly, there is seemingly a value in your reputation. There is seemingly a value in being favored in the physical by other people. But do you know how frail that is? Do you know how fragile that is? Do you know how fleetfully passing that can be? Because when you know that the approval and acceptance and favor of another person can be swiped away from you in the blink of an eye, you'll find yourself less likely to do dramatic, catastrophic things trying to receive it, trying to keep it, because it's a choice. People will either extend themselves, they will extend their resources, or they will not. There is nothing that you can do, nothing that you can say, no performance that will inspire them to do what they weren't ever going to do or didn't have the capacity for, no prayer from your grandmother that will rewire and reconstruct the inner makings of a man or woman. People are designed to do what it is that they think is most beneficial for themselves, unless they have adopted the ideology that all are one and the universal collective is more important than their selfish pursuits. See, the thing about talking as if you know is people tend to actually listen. So somewhere in the world, there's very likely to be someone who's gravitating towards the information that you're presenting as if it's factual and has value and actually trying to apply it. Where I'm from, where I climbed out of, you don't guard your reputation with your life. I've watched people lose their life over reputation, over the fear of a narrative being spoken on them, of them being afraid, or them being a snitch, or them not being who the world takes them as or thinks they are. I'm not crashing out over reputation because my reputation isn't even always reflective of the truth of my nature, let alone my performance and presentation. See, you can say I'm whatever you think I am. It doesn't mean that I actually operate as such or I conduct myself in such a way. You're speaking on the way you perceive me to be. You're speaking on your interpretation of my actions combined with my statements and what you can conclude them to mean in the sum total. My reputation is not important enough for me to concern myself with, because my reputation to you may very well be a reflection of your inner confusion and your inner confliction. You can only explain me to be who you think I am, and you think that I'm just another you. When you look at me and you think all those negative thoughts, you apply and assume all of those negative intentions upon me, knowing you've never met me, don't know what my intentions are because we haven't communicated and such for you to observe or for me to state. So when you're projecting all of the things that you think when you're saying things like, "Ooh, I guess I see right through you. Ooh, I already know what you about." Yeah, you're calculating things that you've interpreted and you're making them mean what it would mean if you were doing it. You don't know me, you know you. You don't see through me. You're finally seeing yourself. But because you don't know it, it still ain't doing you no good. Once again, Robert Greene is absolutely 100% factual on the physical plane. If your reputation is not up to par, your existence and your ability to obtain assets and substantial material riches will be affected greatly. Whether you operate on the professional blue collar plane and you need a reference or someone to open a professional door for you to gain income, or you live the life in the streets and you're just known not to have money, or you're known not to pay your debts, and here you are needing somebody to front you something so that you can start your new endeavor, and your reputation is in your way. That is very, very true on the physical plane, but you live inside of an experience that you are not of. You are from another place, right? You were not designed to participate in these lowly social games of confusion. You were not designed to be led by the legion of voices deeper into the darkness that has caused you to feel like you were alone and like you needed help and like you needed aids to assist you in the carrying out of your own enjoyment. As always, there is actual truth in the statement to be found, discovered, and applied to our life in the pursuit of the universal design of wholeness and completion. Very much so, your reputation is important. You should guard it with your eternal life. Your eternal identification that has been set for you and often ignored as you pursue striving towards who you think you want to be and who you think you should be, is the very thing that you should be protecting with your life. Do you know your eternal reputation? Do you even know your heavenly identity? Have you sat down with your creator, sat down with the book from the manufacturer, and learned of your design so that you can operate in accordance with it? Do you know who you are? Summed up briefly, your identity is everything that your creator is. You were created in the image, in the likeness, fully equipped with 100% of all the contents and all the abundance and all the glory and splendor of your creator. You are a child of a king. You are a child of the ultimate and supreme creator and sustainer of all things. You are chosen. You are favored. You are remarkably designed. Power is not something that you have to seek. Power is not something that you have to obtain. Power is something that was gifted to you through the dominion that you were extended on the physical plane. You were not just sent here. You were not forced to come to the physical plane. It was a choice. You wanted to be here. You think it was a coincidence that you won the race of 1,000,000+ sperm cells headed towards the egg of your mama? You think it was an accident? You chose to be here. You were not made or forced to come. You wanted to come and participate in the very thing that you now gripe and complain about daily. And you don't even have to. You're not suffering through life. You're suffering through the choices of the things that you choose to attach yourself to, the things that you choose to identify yourself by. You're suffering from your ignorance of the truth of yourself, the truth of the universe, the truth of your Father and Creator. But as with everything else, we think we know what our issue is. We think we know what our problems are. And we think we know the solutions, even though we constantly find ourselves dealing with similar issues on repeat, recycling dysfunction, thinking that we know the way out, but constantly ending up back at the starting line, waiting for the gun to go off once again. Once you abandon the idea that you know, you can be shown the path to liberation. You've thought that you've known the way for a long time, and it's led you to more persecution, more prison cells. If you drop the act, embrace the fear of not knowing, and know that that's the ego's last desperate attempt to experience the true gift of life that you have not only been equipped with, but that you have been equipped to extend even to dead, lifeless, illusionary, fantasy-filled things. Your world is what you make it. If things don't make sense, it's because the paradigms and belief system that you operate from is senseless. Not because there's something off with the design, not because there's someone after you trying to give you a hard time. You've been blaming these invisible entities, these demons and these devils for a long time. To be honest, you seem to have more faith and belief in the devil that you run from than the one that you pray to protect you from Satan and his army. Reputation. Let them people talk. They gonna say all kind of things, especially when you line yourself up with truth, especially when they look over at you as they're scriving and clawing for people to speak on them in a way that is suitable for them and aligns with the way that they want to be seen. And they see you living above that, living beyond that, not concerning yourself with such dead, lifeless things, leaving the dead to bury the dead, leaving those consumed with lifelessness to deal with the contents on the lifeless plane. See, those are not my toys. So you don't have to worry about me coming in and taking them from you, or coming in and eating up your time that you could have been playing with it, because it's in my hand. I don't have to submit to the illusions that you subscribe to and that you promote. I do not have to buy into a reputation that you are broadcasting that is not in alignment with who I know myself to be. That's not in alignment with who God says that I am. If God says that I'm one thing and you say that I'm something else, and I partner with what you said, then that makes you my master, and I'd be damned. Listen, we don't have to intimidate anybody. You were given dominion. You were given power. You were given authority. You don't need to control people. People are going to do whatever they want to do. They're going to continue to say whatever they want to say. So for you to consume yourself with what is being said and why would be ridiculous. When I'm hell-bent on getting the things that I feel like I deserve and the things that are going to make me happy on the physical plane, then I need to be very, very invested in the way those that I identify as the people that I need to give me what I lack, so that I can have the life that I don't have, but I desire to. And all of this is nothing but an extreme submission to the illusionary world that we're so familiar with. You've been playing this game a long time. And Robert Greene gives us some of the best advice to playing this game on the highest level. But we can identify in the lens of truth that it is a game. It is meaningless. It does amount to nothing. It is all an act, all a sham, all a show. And the truth of the matter is, your reputation in reality is eternally greater than anyone could ever explain, even you. I can't.